Let's go to Justin Tomlinson in Swindon. Have you decided who you might back yet?
No, I haven't. And I probably did more media yesterday than I've probably done in the last couple of years. Look, whoever wins, I'm going to support. This is a time for us to be grown up, to be pragmatic, and to put the country first. And what we need to do is have the best team. This is bigger than an individual. I want all of our best people, the strongest cabinet performers who could deliver positive, tangible actions for local residents, our strongest media performers. And obviously this is recorded Friday, but what I'm expecting over the weekend is those key people to be sat in a room and working out how they can all work together. I'm not fussed who is 1, 2, 3. I want all of them sat around that top table.
Let me put it to you, Justin, that the honourable thing to do from the party would be to call a general election and let people have a choice after what everyone agrees has been a shambles.
Well, first of all, I don't agree. We, as MPs, are elected for a 5-year term. The country is frazzled post-COVID, post-Brexit, as we're now negotiating the impacts on energy costs after Russia's illegal invasion of Russia. They want us to get on with what we're paid to do.
A lot of people are saying they do want a general election.
Is in vogue
they
at the
can't
moment.
have another. Sorry, Justin. They can't have another prime minister foisted upon them.
Well, the public gets its chance to choose its individual representatives, as we all know, as we have all put ourselves forward for different elections of differing results in different times. And we will select our leader in the coming days. We have some very able people in our party, and I want each and every one of them at their top table. We owe it to the country to be back on the front foot.
The government on this one. I mean, warm rooms and food banks, is that going to be the legacy of 10 years of the Conservatives, 12 years of the Conservatives?
I'll tell you what the legacy is. When this country faces difficult times, the government steps up. Our energy support schemes is the largest by a country mile in Europe. It's providing at least a typical £1,000 saving for households, plus the £150 council tax discount, the £400 top up prior to the energy price guarantee, and then additional payments for the most in need. That's pensioners, those on universal credit, and those on disability benefits. And in Simon's case, as a business owner himself, and he's worried, he doesn't need to be. If he reaches out to his excellent MP, Siobhan, she will explain to him that we extended that support to businesses as well. Yes, so there's a review in 6 months, but of course that's the pragmatic thing to do, because we will then know where energy prices are. We're all keen to see the end of Russia's illegal invasion in Ukraine.
Yeah, just very quickly, I'm going to interrupt because I want to ask you about Justin, I just want to ask you, forgive me, I want to ask you about the tax on the energy companies, which are making a lot of money. Isn't that a fair thing to do, given that we're all suffering?
That's right, and that's why we introduced now what is the equivalent of a 65% windfall tax onto the energy companies, where both our other guests get themselves into a little bit of a model, is they mix up what some of these companies make globally and what they make in the UK. We can only tax UK production, so we're at around 65%.
All right.
That only generates I'm afraid that only generates a couple of £1 billion. Potentially, the energy support schemes go up to £150 billion. There is no easy fix.
All right.
That is why, and all political parties voted for it. It was unplanned and uncosted spending, which then obviously had the unintended impact onto the markets. But we had to do it. You cannot stand by and let people go cold, and the government has stood up. Heaven knows. I mean, to be fair, first of all, I'm incredibly proud of my own area of Swindon. On a sunny day, and believe me, it's not sunny today, we can get to pretty much close to 100% of our energy use in Swindon produced through solar panels, in no small part because of the councils being very proactive at granting planning permission to the sorts of solar panel farms you've just shown on your footage. So we certainly have bought into that in Swindon. I think there is a balance. We also, as we've seen with energy security, how vulnerable the UK has been with global events. We need food security. And so it is striking the balance of not losing too much of our farming land, and also balancing with the need for biodiversity and biodiversity offsetting, particularly where you've got new developments.
One
last thing. For me, what I want to see, and I raised this in Parliament just 2 weeks ago, to make it easier to get solar panels installed on industrial units where they are rented because so many of my local businesses who have huge energy bills but cannot convince their landlords to give them permission, even though they have long leases.
All right. Sorry, our time is so short, Justin. There'll be no further solar farms on agricultural land.
No, I don't see. I agree with Tessa that it's about diversification. It's about getting that balance around energy security. And look, Swindon has led the way in this, and it's something as a Swindon MP I'm incredibly proud